For over 27 years here in Tuscaloosa, Catfish Heaven has been pleasing our taste buds with their delicious catfish, pan trout, hot wings, coleslaw, hush puppies, and don't forget about those made-to-order French fries. Whether it's your snack time, lunchtime, or dinner time, give the guys a call over at Catfish Heaven at 205-752-7222, or you can make your order online at catfishheaventuscaloosa.com. So head on over to Catfish Heaven at 2502 21st Street. See you there.
Tuscaloosa, get ready for the T-Town Labor Day Blues and Groove Festival. Saturday, September 4th at Socone Park, featuring TK Soul, Abel Hollywood,
Is you 25 and
Magic One, Jay Hammer, Miss Jody, Donnie Ray, and the Jay Morris Group. Gates open at noon. Showtime 2 p.m. It's all hosted by MC Sir Anthony. Bring your tents, coolers, lawn chairs, and RVs. Vendors are welcome. Kick off your Labor Day weekend at the Blues and Groove Festival, starring TK Soul, Avell Hollywood, Magic One, Jay Hammer, Miss Jody, Donnie Ray, and the Jay Morris Group. Saturday, September 4th at Socone Park in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. For tickets and vendor info, call 205-872-2113.
Fellas, head on down to New Generation Barber Shop, right off of 2600 McFarland Boulevard East, Suite C. Go ahead and get you a fly cut from my boy Fred Brown. You can hit him up at 205-292-4995. Also Sam Brown at 205-722-8506. And how can I forget about my boy Amp the Barber? Hit him up at 205-561-7473. Check him out, y'all.
Pick I might as well hell. Drop the top and take a selfie, Marco.
You shopping at a goddamn number 2 pencil.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the all-new T-Town 411 Report, and along with my good friend Mike Wilson, we're live on 106.1 Sound Booth Radio and Sound Booth TV. Mike, tell them how to chime in on Sound Booth Radio.
Sure thing, Daryl. To get in with us on Sound Booth Radio, just go to your iOS or your Google Play Store, download the Live 365 app. That's Live, L-I-V-E, 365. Once you've downloaded that app, go to the search bar and type in Sound Booth Radio 106.1. That'll get you on with us on the radio station side of Sound Booth Radio. And to get the Sound Booth TV, just go to YouTube and type in Sound Booth Radio. It'll pull up Sound Booth TV.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody for chiming in, waiting on our COVID update, Mike, to see who's right. Is it past 105 or is it going to be between 115 and 120? So I'm waiting on Veronica. Hello, Patricia. How you doing? Thank you for chiming in. Daniel Van Horn, he's already chimed in with us. And don't forget about the West Side Community Weekend. Is this weekend, August the 7th and 8th. That's the 7th and 8th. That's Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. On the 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Free food, swimming, and school supplies will be given away on August 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And all of this is being done by Rodney Pelt with Mind Changes, Power, and the Barnes Branch YMCA. And on Sunday, August the 8th, at 8:30 p.m. Yeah, that's correct. 8:30 p.m. they'll be having a movie night. They'll be having a free movie night. Bring your lawn chairs. That'll be taking place on August the 8th at 8:30. So that's what's going on there. Also, Westside Community Weekend includes COVID-19 testing and vaccination. Once again, COVID-19 testing free and vaccination free. That's Saturday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Hey, if you're looking for tickets for the hottest blues show east of the Major Dixon line, I have them. This is Mike. This is one of the best lineups in Southern Soul and Blues that's going on right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You got Terry Wright, Jay Hammer, Miss Jody, Donnie Ray, the J Mars Group, Magic One, TK Soul, and Avila Hollywood, all in one big show. That's 8 headliners for $5 a head. That's the tickets are $40, but you get to see all these acts for $5 per act. Pretty much, that's what it adds up to.
Mm-hmm.
Great show. If you're into Southern Soul, outside, great atmosphere. This is Labor Day weekend. Let me say this. I do know, and they do know, that Alabama kick off that weekend. But guess what? Everybody got TV on their phones. Everybody got DVRs. You cannot record this blues show, but you can record the game, or you can listen to the game. And I'm pretty sure they might have some out there. But this is one blues show festival that you do not want to miss.
And truthfully, Daryl, I think that's the one that's starting all. I think we're gonna have a total of 3 of them within a span of 3 weeks.
In a span of 3 weeks, on October, this is a makeup show. October the 16th over at H&H Farms. This was the October Blues and Comedy Fest. Well, guess who's coming on that one? You got Tucker, the King of Swing. You got Avila Hollywood, Joyce Band, along with others. Get your tickets for that one. I'll let you know where to get them at, and soon we should have a video for them coming up also. Well, this one taking place right here in McKinstry Banquet Hall, Sunday, August 29th. Starting the weekend off right. Sunday, August 29th at 5:45, LJ Eccles and the Neckbone Band will be live. This is not no track show. This is live band and show. Taking place right here at McKinstry Banquet Hall. It's an all-white soul jam. Looking forward to a great atmosphere, great night, a great evening of entertainment right here at McKinstry Banquet Hall. Tickets are only $25. Call the number on the flyer, 887-7594. That'll get you in contact with the person that's selling the tickets. We're only the host venue, but we want everybody to come out and have a great time. We also, on that show, is Caroline Shine and the Impulse Band. They'll be performing right before LJ Eccles.
So we got a lot of stuff coming on. Also, I think October the 1st, if I'm not mistaken, there's a soul concert, Southern Soul concert going on at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. I'm not exactly sure who all is involved in that, but I heard about it a little earlier this week, and I was like, whoa, didn't hear much about that one. So, like I said, that's like 3 concerts in 2 months, y'all. So,
a lot of
entertainment opportunity.
A lot of activities that's going to take place here in the upcoming weeks right here in Tuscaloosa. If you're looking for a Southern Soul, I'm not sure you're talking about the Johnny Gill and Keith Sweat. Is that one, or that's?
No, but they're actually having a blues show at the amphitheater, which shocked me because I think it's probably gonna be one of the first ones. I think the Johnny Gill and Keith Sweat is after that one even. And then of course Erykah Badu, and then I think there's one after Erykah Badu.
Well, I
can't remember who it is.
I think there's an old school, sure enough, old school concert that's coming to the amphitheater. The Delphonics, Stylistics, my mama and them age, groups, that's coming. If you really have to just know music to really be involved in that particular one. I think Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Absolutely, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay. So that's not
That's
blue.
not about them age, but I know about it too, though, Daryl.
Well, like I said, unless you know music, you have to know music. One day we're gonna excuse me. One day we're gonna take the time out and do like a name that tune type thing. See him and the people we got that know anything about any real music. Here's the COVID update. Mike, we both were wrong. As of 3/14, 88 inpatients at DCA Systems who were positive. 21 inpatients who's positive for COVID-19 being treated in the ICU. And 7 are positive for COVID-19 on ventilators, and 7 who are positive for that's on bypass.
Wow, we lost 2.
Lost 2 instead of gained more. Well, maybe people listening putting their mask back on,
According to the news, there are a lot more people that's trying to go out there and get the vaccines right now. So that's a very, very good thing. And based upon what I've heard, and I was listening to it today, kind of paying a little attention to it more. The masking up that they're asking people to do, because everybody who's trying to get vaccinated right now, be fully vaccinated for about 6 weeks. So they want to see how things going to look in about 6 weeks. That's probably going to be when everything starts turning, probably for the better, hopefully for the better. So everybody who's going to get their vaccines, and they started out probably within the last week or so, you just know that you still got 3 weeks before you take your second vaccination, and it's going to take a couple of weeks after that for you the full thing to take hold. So we're looking at about 6 weeks for everything that for everything to kind of slow down. Hopefully, if the numbers still continue to go the way they're going, pertaining to people getting vaccinated.
Well, what happened in that 5 to 6 week period is kickoff.
Yes, and hopefully the incentives that they're offering for people, like I said, the University of Alabama, I know is offering, I think it's $100 in Bama cash to get vaccinated. I think they can do better, because the way I understand it, Auburn is offering a $1,000 scholarship, $1,000 scholarships to everybody who's getting vaccinated. So, but we'll take whatever we can get.
Veronica say patient count is down by 2. Veronica, let me get you to call in right quick, if you will. Got a couple questions right quick relating to this COVID update. 205-826-7661 that'll get you in contact with us. My daughter said something about $20. I'm not sure what she's mentioning. They may be giving people $20 to come and get shots. So that might be what she's making reference to. See, can I get Veronica to call in right quick? Oh, she said.
I thought we actually got a couple of people that's been calling, asking us more and more questions about the shots. So they have always been on the fence about getting it, but the Delta variant is actually starting to scare a lot of people. And so now they're like, well, some people telling me this. Well, did this happen to you when you took your shot? I heard that this could happen. Just want to make sure everybody understands that a shot affects everybody different.
It does.
So, like for one person, they might not feel a thing. I felt nothing. And some people, they say they feel a little funny for a couple of hours after the shot, but then they feel better after that. So,
Mike, I didn't have any side effects from the shot. No side effects whatsoever that I could think of, other than the soreness in the first one. The second one, I ain't have no soreness, no side effect, no nothing. So it made me think, did I take it? You know, here go Veronica calling in. Hey Veronica, how you doing?
Hey everybody, hi Daryl, how y'all doing?
Great. Just want to say happy birthday. Let me sing that happy birthday verse right quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Veronica. Happy birthday. That's all I know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You ain't want me to hit that. Happy birthday.
Thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate that.
Girl, go enjoy and drink you some cakes and eat you some cakes and drink some drinks, I guess. Now, whatever you do, enjoy your day.
Look, that's about all I do. I can't hardly handle a cooler. So that's about
I don't drink either. I don't drink.
Don't know, just undecided about what I'm going to do this weekend. This is a birthday weekend, so I don't know. I'm going to have to do something, but the way this stuff looking, I don't know what.
Hey,
I might just sit down somewhere.
We down 2 people, so hey, it didn't increase, it decreased.
Yeah, thank God it did not increase, and I hope they were discharged and sent home and doing well.
Yes, we do. We pray that happens, sure enough.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
2 people down. We was expecting to be up about another 15 people, so that's a good thing. We was both.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Yeah, it definitely is. And, like I was saying last week, they said for some reason over there in London, the cases they dropped. They just had a big drop all of a sudden. They don't know why. I guess they were trying to figure out why. But regardless of why, that was a good thing. The number of new cases it had dropped. So hopefully it drops. I'm just hoping it drops, because the way I've been seeing people fussing about these masks, fussing about, well, how can you tell me I can't come into a store if I don't show this? And I'm like, maybe the same way they can say you can't come into a restaurant with your shirt off. I don't know how they're going to do all that.
That's true.
Hopefully it just keeps dropping.
But you see, Birmingham, I think a couple restaurants in Birmingham, I want to say, it's requiring the card.
Mm-hmm.
They're requiring that you have the card. So
and you can't get mad about people's business. That's their business. They built their business. And the patrons of the business help keep it going. But if they're willing to say, well, okay, we're going to lose, we're going to lose a few supporters, people that support and finance our business, but hey, that's what they want to do to make sure that they keep themselves, their families, their staff safe.
You want to keep that and stay open.
That's a thing. Because a lot of times they're saying, well, it's going to cause business. Yeah, it is going to cause them business, but they're looking at the fact that, if this stuff keeps spreading like this, it's going to cost them business anyway. So they're trying to at least get in front of it some type of way.
Well, let's look at it this way too, Ron. A lot of the venues, as far as bingo halls and event venues like myself, you can't smoke in the inside. So if that do it hurt your business when people say, "Oh, you can't smoke there because they don't let you smoke in the inside"? It changed a few people's mind, but they still come. People still come.
Well, one thing that I heard today, Daryl, from the state health person, the head of state health, I don't know what exact type, but and this kind of should appear home to a lot of people, I think, was one or two things are going to happen. Everybody going to go out and get their vaccination, and the tide going to turn because of that, or if we're going to let it burn through the people who are not vaccinated, and the tide going to turn that way. So either way, that's what they're looking at. The only problem with burning through the people that are not vaccinated is you open the door for that other variant to come through, and it's way worse than the one that we're dealing with now.
I'm leaning toward the fact that I think more people are going. Like you say, I think the students now, or the university students, are arriving back, and I think a lot of them is going to get vaccinated or thinking about getting vaccinated. Or is it required that they get vaccinated before they come back to the university? On top of that, um, not doctor. What's our not our representative Tuberville? I don't know if you've seen him on news, but he didn't say. He said make an educated decision. He didn't say don't take it, and he didn't say
Okay, yeah,
don't be mad.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt. I had took a call real quick. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
But Tuberville said make an educated decision. So at least now the Republicans are not saying don't wear it or don't take the shot. They're saying make an educated decision. Or that's what Tuberville said. But I think
Right.
I think he took his. So I think they're gonna start taking more shots now and wearing the mask for a little while longer. I think they'd rather take the shot than to wear the mask.
Yeah, I think the only somebody I've seen this is Ed DeSantis. You know, he got some stuff going on. That run down in Florida, that governor got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
He's the only one. He's talking about not if they send the kids to school wearing masks, he's not gonna fund them. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
I saw that too. I thought that was a uncalled for threat for the health and safety and welfare of
That's exactly what it was.
of
And
people.
it once again makes it so obvious that he's trying to make this whole entire thing political
It's
in
already
everything that he does. You know, that's why I asked that question on Tuesday about the numbers of people who were getting the vaccine and who were not, because it goes again to say that a lot of the people who were not getting the vaccine were probably a lot more Republican. I think at first it was African Americans and Republicans, but it started the tide started turning more toward Republicans not taking the vaccination because they still feel like it's a hoax or brought on by the Democrats. And I don't understand how you can think that when it's a worldwide pandemic.
well, Patricia say, but you still have to wear the mask regardless, don't you? I think it's still wise to wear the mask. I'm not discouraging anyone not to wear the mask. A lot of things that Vicky Will said on the other day about, still sanitize, still wear your mask, wiping down your surroundings. That works too. But at the same time, I'm still 100% behind the vaccination. I've taken mine, and I'm still here. I know a lot of people. Well, I can suggest a lot of people probably that's not here would love to have the opportunity to take the vaccination to see would they still be here. So
y'all, I've heard people say, well, they'll ask you, well, did you take it? And you be like, well, I say, well, yes. Well, you just want us to take it because you take it. And I'm like, friend, believe me, I don't want you to do anything because I did it, because nobody can make me do something because they did it.
Right.
And you think about it in a way, maybe I do want you to take it because I took it, because it's, to me, I'm so tired of hearing people, well, if enough of y'all take it, I don't have to take it. So if you can be selfish and say that, why wouldn't I want you to take it because I took it? If that's what it takes to get the numbers down and to get it from, having all these cases, yeah, everybody who's taking it, yeah, we do want you to take it because we took it, because we feel like we did our part.
Absolutely right.
I feel like it's selfish of those that sit there and say, well, enough of y'all take it, we won't have to take it. That's very selfish on their part. So how is it selfish of me to want you to take it because I did? You relying on me to be the reason that you don't take it.
Hey, see, want you to say their life instead of they trying to say their own life.
Yeah.
Or somebody else in their family life.
Yeah. Yeah, and then joking about, oh, y'all don't know what's going to happen later, but you still relying on me to take it so that you won't have to take it. So by the time enough of us take it, if you were that person that's scathed by, then you get to the point where it's in herd immunity stage, where you rely on me, but you didn't play your part. And to me, that's like a coward statement.
Is Mike at the video? You know, I don't know if y'all seen. When we talking about all these raids, I just want to bring it to people's attention about police raids that have been happening in Chicago. But as me and Mike were saying earlier, it happens all over the country, but it's just being called out more in Chicago. And I posted that video for people to kind of see what's happening. It's terrifying. The kids that, especially if you're going to the wrong house. That's what they raids about. They're raiding the wrong homes when you have informants that are giving you the wrong information. And the police going strictly by whatever someone else is saying and causing this chaos. I'm not sure, is it ready yet?
Let's show you. Mello, if you're ready, go ahead and roll that first clip.
Yeah, let's roll some of it.
Now to a promise of action and change following a nearly year-long CBS 2 investigation of Chicago police raiding the wrong homes.
Innocent children like this little boy traumatized by guns pointed at them. CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini exposes 2 new cases along with what the mayor and inspector general vow to do.
Did anybody knock?
No.
They just came in?
First, they busted through the doors of his family's apartment, and then came the guns.
They had their finger on a trigger.
A lot of guns. Handguns and assault rifles like these.
So they were pointing the guns at your sisters?
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking then?
I'm thinking maybe they were going to get shot.
8-year-old J.J. Jackson was playing in his room when Chicago police burst in. His 11-year-old sister, Talia, says guns were in their faces.
I was afraid and confused.
And tonight, a disturbing pattern continues as more families are accusing Chicago police of bad raids.
Chicago police search warrant!
Busting in homes and drawing weapons on innocent families.
How many of you had guns pointed at you?
Including Jolanda Blassingame's family.
And I felt scared for my life.
Her boys were playing video games while she was cooking dinner when she says police threw a flashbang grenade into her home.
How many of you were told to get down on the ground?
Police used the word of an unnamed informant who, according to the complaint for search warrant, said weekly heroin sales were being made by this man at the address where Blassingame and her kids lived.
They had an informant?
Yeah.
That's what they told you?
Yeah.
But we found the man police were looking for didn't even live there.
This is the person police were looking for?
Mm-hmm.
But no one's ever even seen this guy?
Nope. I knew they had the wrong apartment when they looked at each other crazy.
Dave.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot says these wrong raids have to stop immediately.
We can't have this.
And now is reacting to our 10-month CBS 2 investigation, exposing case after case of bad Chicago police raids happening at the homes of innocent people across the city.
Mayor, we've now had dozens of victims of wrong police raids.
Yep.
Chicago police search warrant!
Police using bad information without properly investigating.
They live upstairs.
Then busting into the wrong homes.
He gave us the wrong apartment.
Wrong homes, wrong targets, and pointing guns at the wrong people, including kids, over and over again.
I thought they were going to shoot him.
Where did they point the gun at you?
I wanted to, like, right here.
Where did they point the rifle?
How were they holding them?
Like this.
So we're going to dig down, look at these specific incidents, see what we can learn from them, and try to, as best we can, not to repeat those kinds of mistakes.
Like when 8-year-old Royal Wilson's family showed us how they were walked out at gunpoint and how the 3rd grader was handcuffed for 30 minutes.
I was just scared. My legs were shaking.
Every one of these incidents is an aggravator and a perpetuator of this mistrust that exists.
Chicago Inspector General Joe Ferguson knows he has a lot of work to do to fix this.
A number of the things that you've brought to us have prompted us to start to look at aspects of this.
One aspect we put a spotlight on is the trauma to innocent kids. The IG has now launched a full-scale investigation into the methods Chicago police are using to obtain and execute search warrants.
They use a bar and they knock it open.
So police did this?
Yes.
Crystal Archie says her son JJ and her daughters now fear the police.
The first raid was probably the worst.
You heard that right. The first raid was the worst.
How many times was your home invaded?
3 times. 3 times.
She says all 3 raids and warrants were for people she never even heard of.
Each time.
Mike, it's terrifying the kids. I mean, there's a neglect. I guess you could say that's being lazy by the investigator to not look more into verifying information on a search warrant. Remember, you have to go swear to it. And I just think that's being just pure lazy to do what they're doing to those families or had done to those families. And that's why the lawsuit is out.
But you think, okay, that one lady said that she'd been raided 3 times. What was so interesting to me about that whole entire thing, this right here was brought to our attention last year with Breonna Taylor. Because it was the same type of situation, no knock warrants. They come busting in the wrong house. And when you have kids involved and you taking like 11, 12-year-old, 8-year-old out in handcuffs to sort things out. If you got guns pointed in these kids' faces, just to me justify the fact that, hey, I got everything wrong. We didn't do what we were supposed to do as far as due diligence. Like, y'all supposed to, well, I'll put it like this. I asked you, Daryl, because you were a police officer. If they issue out a warrant, a no-knock warrant, you go in and you don't find the person that you're looking for, are you supposed to be drawing down? Like, what the purpose of going in is to catch them off guard. Are you going to be drawing down on everybody that's in the house, including the kids?
I understand the safety. Law enforcement want to be safe in every situation they're going in or go into. But it's okay to say we made a mistake. If you make a mistake, it's okay to say we made a mistake. And we sorry. I think every one of these case scenarios that they're talking about, yes, those officers should be brought up on either termination or suspension. I think, but they need to be made to apologize publicly to these particular families. Why? Because they're wrong. What's wrong with just saying it was wrong? What's wrong with it?
I see nothing wrong with saying that you're wrong, because we all have to do it every single day. But now here's the question also. Why do you keep making the same mistake? Here's one lady said that she'd been raided in her same house
3 times.
3 times.
Well, we're gonna hear second half of the show. We'll hear about the rest of that. But the terrifying of the kids. I mean, okay, you can't pat. What's wrong with patting them down, checking, make sure they don't have any weapons, and let someone put the kids in a separate environment. Here's where the mistrust of law enforcement comes in when they witness these type incidents, which make it bad for all incidents. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I guess I got caught up into Chicago because so much. I mean, Chicago is now the learning city to me. For example, National Night Out took place maybe 2 nights ago, maybe there. And the parents and the kids said this is how they wanted to live. They went to a park in an area where crime is infected, but also at the same time, they provided them snacks. They provided them more insight on how law enforcement work and what their jobs and duties is, and gave them an opportunity to go outside and play. But at the same time, you have this incident of embarging on residents, raiding people's homes that are the wrong homes, causes the mistrust of law enforcement. And I think, there's nothing wrong with apologizing. I just don't think there's nothing wrong with apologizing. And that's where I think they got to do that. They just got to do that. Put up the number, Carmelo, if you will, for people to call in if they want to call in and join this conversation. I mean, do it happen here in Tuscaloosa? Yeah, it happened right here in Tuscaloosa, I'm sure. Misinformation. You can join us at 205-310-6067 or 205-826-7661. And Patricia said, wow. Mike, the city of Chicago, I mean, there's so much they have to offer to help train other areas of the country. The gun violence that goes on. I think,
That's true, Darren. Plus, they have a history of violence. I mean, that's what Al Capone was. That's what, I'm talking all the way back to Prohibition. They should have, you would think they would have so much of a history of violence and illegal weapons, substances, and things like that, that they should be one of the leading figures in the United States on how to handle the things.
How to control what we're trying to prevent happening down south. And years back when I was in law enforcement, when in the 80s, I guess you can say, when crack cocaine was one of the dominant type drugs and how it was affecting the African American community, we used to go to Florida, different sites in Florida, to conferences and hear the stories and the recommendations on how to prevent certain crimes or deter these certain crimes that happen in the housing authority, because we were working in the housing. And it said, yeah, you might have to evict the good with the bad to get the community back in control. And that happened. If Leroy was selling drugs in the community, well, grandma or mom had to move because he's on the lease where he lives, and when he got arrested or if he sold drugs from that housing authority, you had to get rid of the whole family. It didn't feel good to do it that way, but under the circumstances, that was the rules and the regulations. But we learned that from going to Florida and seeing how they were doing things to make their housing areas much more comfortable, safe, and secure for families to live in.
True.
Daniel said, get the address right. 3 times is harmful to the kids' mental health toward police officers. Who validated the warrant for wrong address? Well, if Mello got the second part of that ready, Mike, let's go ahead and watch the second part of that with dealing with the three warrants, 3 entrants by this young lady.
The warrant was for nobody in your house.
Each time.
The warrants named suspected drug dealers known as Peanut and Lord T.
We don't have names in our home like Lord T and Peanut at all.
All 3 raids happened during the last 6 months, and while no one in her home was ever arrested, she says they were left with a threat of even more raids to come.
These officers told the children that they would be back.
Every single one of these raid situations is a form of imposition of trauma by the government on citizens of the city.
The CBS 2 investigators have been wanting to tell you how often something as traumatic as this actually happens to Chicago families. And we've been battling Chicago police for nearly a year to get records released.
So you raised this issue with me a couple weeks back, and the very next day, I raised it with the superintendent and his leadership team.
But Chicago police top brass don't want you to have that information. So we went to the Illinois Attorney General's office, which forced CPD to release at least a small sliver of data. So what did the police eventually turn over? Only a fraction of search warrant records, full of holes with thousands of warrants missing. CPD gave us information on just 2,708 search warrants since 2016. Yet we've uncovered there were more than 11,000 CPD warrants signed off on by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office during that time frame. So why isn't CPD releasing the other 8,000 plus warrants? They refuse to explain.
You raised the question of FOIA. I'm all about it. I don't want people to have to hire lawyers, sue the city to get access to basic information.
The 2,708 search warrant records CPD did turn over raises yet another question. They showed just 42 arrests. That means more than 98% of the time, no one was arrested.
We have the right and the authority to have access to all the records of the police department.
Chicago's Inspector General says he plans on using his authority to get the records CPD has refused to release to us and to get to the truth.
We should make sure that there is tracking and accountability.
Do you believe we've uncovered troubling information?
You've absolutely uncovered a sufficient number of situations that have resulted in really bad outcomes.
So it was the wrong apartment?
Yeah.
But wait until you hear just how wrong they got it. Remember when we told you about the raid on the Blassingame family and how the target police were looking for didn't even live there?
They didn't investigate right. They didn't do anything right.
We found his name is Derek Bell. And if the police would have checked their own criminal database, they would have discovered what we uncovered in minutes. At the time of the raid, Bell was actually 200 miles away and had been for years, serving time in a downstate prison for murder.
The informant told them that he'd been buying heroin out of the second floor apartment for 2 months from a guy named Ace, Derek Bell.
And then nobody studied but me and my boys.
Again, no arrests were made, and her boys were all traumatized in the process with guns pointed at them.
It's something I won't forget.
What it does when we make mistakes, and particularly when we make mistakes in the way in which we deal with our children, that leaves an indelible scar that is very, very difficult to repair.
What are you thinking right now?
That they may come back.
For 10 months, we've been requesting an interview with Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson. He has refused every request. The Inspector General says it could take a year to fully audit the police department's search warrant practices. Tomorrow, attorney Al Holfeld Jr. is filing a federal lawsuit against CPD on behalf of the Archie family. Police have refused to turn over records involving both of these raids, and also they've refused to turn over body camera footage, too, involving those raids. Brad and Erica. It just keeps happening. We keep getting more families coming forward. We encourage people who have information that have been raided wrongly to call us.
Yeah, I have about a half dozen questions for you, but we know you will continue to follow it.
Got it.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Did you see the difference in the amount of warrants that they supposedly did and the ones that wasn't reported? 8,000 plus that wasn't reported.
All right. I saw that there. I also saw the fact that out of the 2,000 they did decide they want to show
42
arrests.
And here's something that's very disturbing. A suspect that you've been looking for that supposedly is in a residence where this lady and her 4 boys are, is 200 miles away in prison for murder.
In prison, that you have a database on who are all in prison.
Man. And One of those guys said they'll never forget it. And I can imagine so.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, those people those informants, they get paid for that stuff, right?
Confidential informants can be paid. Mm-hmm.
And they get that many things wrong. Is it a possibility that they should look at those informants as they're trying to give you a runaround, give you the wrong direction, misdirection in something? That's just like you get too many things wrong.
That's what it seems like.
You would think exactly. That you're being played. You're being played.
Now, of course, we talked about this. We said, of course, that it happens all over the nation. Of course, it does. The reason why Chicago was highlighted tonight was because they did a news story about it. I'm quite sure.
Crabs, I forgot to start eating them, but they ain't. I'm not eating on top of them on the side.
I'm sorry. Oh, they did a news thing about it in Chicago, but if they were to decide to do exposés in every state, they probably get the same type of stuff that's going on, especially some of the bigger cities.
Yeah, Mike, these are things that, and you notice that the guy said he refused to cooperate. That the head honcho refused to cooperate with the investigation. So they're being sued federally, and he's still refusing to give information relating to the wrongdoing. What do you got? I think transparency.
My thing is, the mayor isn't the mayor the boss of in most cities. Mm-hmm. Aren't they the boss?
That's correct.
And a lot of times they'll stand out there too, talk about transparency and how transparent things need to be, but then there's still no transparency.
Right.
They talk about it, but he's refusing. So how are they being transparent?
He's not.
Once again, we get into the realm of being political, because I also know that in big cities like that, they kind of sort of feel like they have to have the backing of the police union and the firefighters union and city workers for them to be elected and to hold their office. So they don't want to do too many things that is going to make the unions mad.
Wrinkle feathers. Just tell it like it is. Wrinkle any feathers. But I just wanted to bring that to, it might be not as widespread here locally, but it happens. Or it has happened. But I don't see anything wrong with not being able to apologize and correct a mistake.
Now, by them not even just giving me apologies is one thing, but you have young children that have had firearms pointed at them. And we listened to a couple of those young kids on there. I thought I was going to get shot.
Yeah.
I thought my sisters and my brothers was going to get shot.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a firearm is. They didn't know what a firearm could do. Yeah. And personally, I have never, ever had a firearm pointed directly at me and thought that I was going to lose my life. And I'm pretty sure that if I did, you probably see, you'll see me completely faint.
You won't.
I ain't that tough.
You just say it's something you probably would never forget.
Absolutely. So imagine that as a child, and most of these people probably don't have health care that's going to cover taking their kids to see somebody. So this is going to be something that's going to mess with their head.
Yeah, they traumatized. They traumatized, for sure.
They
And
don't
now,
value. They don't value the children, black and brown children. So they feel like Dr. Darrell said they won't even apologize. And even if they did apologize, they feel like that's sufficient. But the city should have a program when those things happen that they should pay for it.
And I'm pretty
that's
sure
what I was getting at.
they
That's
will.
exactly what I was getting at.
They will.
Because those kids, what's going to wind up happening is they already don't trust police officers now. They don't trust them. They see a police officer, they get scared, they run the other way. Sometimes they run it, they haven't done a thing. They just run it because police. Hey, remember, police, they'll bust in your house and point a gun at you.
I mean, there are certain situations of exigent circumstances that, hey, you behind a suspect, he running, you run behind him, you got eye contact. But to get information that they're getting and to have that many incidents of wrong address, wow, that's terrible. That's bad police. That's another load.
And that could be the cause of some of the crimes up there. They don't trust police, so they go the other way. They turn to the streets. The streets is embracing to them.
But based on the amount of murders and stuff that take place weekly in Chicago, I would say, and I wish I could get my cousin to call in. She hadn't checked in with me lately. I call her and see if she could give me some insight on what's going on up there during these major weekends of 80 shootings and 30 deaths. Just what's going on.
It saddens me that that happens quite often. And once again, like we heard about the biggest one we heard about was last year with Breonna Taylor. That was that same type of situation, the same type of, hey, we're gonna bust in here. Oh, we got the wrong address, but okay. And if I'm not mistaken, there was no apology issue in that case either.
I hadn't heard of one.
We did everything right.
I hadn't heard of one as of yet. Sure haven't.
Now, let's be honest. If they apologize now, would you be willing to accept it? This whole year later.
In Breonna Taylor's situation?
Yes.
I accept it, but I mean, why you have to wait so long to admit you're wrong? I mean, why you had to wait to say, hey?
But it's like when you do stuff like that, Daryl, it kind of puts you in the mindset of like, I don't think that you mean it. I think you're doing it for optics purposes.
If it's, I put it this way: if I felt it was sincere, especially the one that pulled the trigger. Let's take Kirvin, for example, when he was dealing with George Floyd. You could see it in his face that he wasn't going to apologize, and if he would have, he wouldn't have no sincere behind it. You could see in his face that even he apologized at court, that it wouldn't even appear to be sincere. So that's just an example that I would use.
One of those written statements that a PR person has written up for you to say.
Right. What about now? Okay, let's take the young lady in Dallas that shot the guy in the wrong apartment. Thought the guy was in the apartment. I found that to be sincere. And was she drunk or disillusional or what? I don't know, but at least I think her apology was sincere.
I'm still on the fence about that one, Daryl. Just based upon the facts of the case as I understand them, I'm visually impaired, and I have yet to walk to the wrong apartment when I come to my apartment. I definitely wouldn't go up any steps if I ain't got to go up any steps.
Yeah, but like I said, you heard what I said. I don't know, was she delusional, drunk, under the influence of any other narcotics. But I found her apology during the trial I thought was sincere. It's just me now. It's just me. Hey, let's take a quick break and hey, end the show a little early tonight, and we'll start off on Tuesday. Take us to a commercial break, Camilo.
Hello? Hey, Rick. I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie, and I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh. All I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Head on down to Ultra.
Okay. We'll go ahead and finish this on out for tonight, Mike. Thanks, Veronica, for chiming in on her birthday. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Celebrate.
What we doing this weekend for the birthday? Birthday weekend.
That's what I'm saying, Mike. I'm supposed to be, this weekend is the birthday weekend. It's supposed to be some shenanigans going on. But I don't know what the shenanigans are going to look like right now with these numbers. If you don't, with the places I'm trying to go, the numbers looking a little wonky. So just gonna have to be careful whatever I do, because I'm not really one for a big crowd, so I can kind of avoid big crowds.
So be careful, but enjoy yourself. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
You only turn
that's what I'm gonna do.
You only turn 35 once in a lifetime. So that's what we're gonna say.
I'm gonna send you a Bottles and James your way.
Okay.
She said she can't even drink the whole bottle of James, Mike.
You gonna send her a pleasant neighbor.
She can't drink the whole bottle. Just half a bottle.
Yeah, I probably get through that within about 2 hours on there.
Oh, okay. But do y'all watch this television show on Showtime called Shy?
I haven't watched it. I hear so much about it.
I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about the show.
Wow. Yeah, really, it's a great show. It's a series. This is season 4. Go back if you get a chance. Go back and download Showtime for that. I think you get a free opportunity for 7 days. Watch the season.
I think the Shy is coming on BET right now, so I think you catch those old episodes on BET.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. But it's a great. I think it's a great show. Check it out. Very reality. I love it. The Shy is a great series that you get a chance to and watch. Jesse, want to join us right quick? What's going on, Jesse?
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey, Jesse, what's going on?
You got it, Mike, and happy birthday to Veronica here. Somebody
hey, thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Yeah. She just turned legal age.
She turned legal age? Well, we're gonna hold off. We're gonna hold off on all that stuff, that illegal stuff. we need to get our good information to keep coming in. We need to be started.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into some shenanigans, but it's gonna be legal. They'll be legal.
All right. Well, you know something, you enjoy yourself.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Have yourself a good time. You deserve it. I think we all can agree to that.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this. Have you ever been to Nothing But Cakes?
Nothing. Yeah. Over here on McFarland.
Yeah. So you like their cakes?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I'm gonna get you a front cake.
I appreciate that, Mike.
All right, Mike. I'm gonna send that. I'm gonna send that right on up to you. Hey, down.
I'm hearing.
Now you know what Mike doing now, right?
What I'm doing?
You one up and down over there.
They're
No.
in the head. I'm already in the head. I sung a happy birthday along with paying for it and sending some lunch. So I'm way in the head.
Cause I bet y'all saying, look, Jessica got on here and started to mess.
He started messing. I can't tell. I can't get in their business, but he ain't went up there yet.
Man, you hear me sing? You didn't hear me sing? Man, I went live singing tonight.
No, you did you?
Yeah, I did.
I tell you, God is good. Then all I can say, God is good.
Now, why you saying that, Jessica? Because you heard it, because you didn't hear it.
Because I did hear it.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna have to catch. I'm gonna have to let you catch one of my tunes one day.
That's
right. That's right.
All right now. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry I missed the show. Most of the show, anyway. What we got?
We had showed a little video. I had seen where a lot of raids was taking place up in Chicago, where they was kicking in the wrong doors and pulling guns on the kids and the women and children in the households and not making no arrests. So I thought we'd bring that to the foresight a little bit, just a little bit, something different.
Oh man, Lord, no, I hate I missed that communicated segment because that's terrible. But I'm gonna say this: that's why some people are so for refunding the police for things like that.
Well, it's happening big time. You can go back and watch it later on, Jesse. You'll see the numbers of how many actual warrants, search warrants that's been served. They say out of 2,807, I want to say, search warrants that have been served, only 42 arrests.
42 arrests?
That's 2%.
42.
And that's the ones they allowed us to see.
Yep.
They had way over 1,000 warrants.
What was the point?
You tell me.
Wrong. They kicking in wrong doors. They go in the wrong houses. They went to one lady's house 3 times.
Oh my
for
God!
A person that was already in jail.
What?
In prison, not just in jail.
He was in prison.
In prison.
And oh my God!
And they kicked in and actually told her and her kids, "We're coming back."
What is wrong with these people? I mean, that's terrorism.
Terrorized, and then definitely, well, they finna pay the price for it. I can imagine they finna pay the price for it.
I hope but to what end? What is the end game though? To that, I mean, okay, you compensate someone, so you build their bank account up some, but what about the emotional state of mind?
Yeah.
That's the major part right there, Jesse. I think that we have a lot of young people that are so fearful of the police because they have had a gun pointed at. And I ain't talking just the handguns either, because they said they had a rifle and shot them.
AR-15.
Yeah, these kids.
Yeah, but this is, how come? Where did that come from? That these police officers are they that fearful of us, or is it something else?
Well, first
based
thing,
upon what the article was saying, they got these informants that's giving them wrong information. Now, my question is, with the informants giving you wrong information, because informants get paid, if they give you all wrong information, why do you continue to go to them? That is just. But you still, even when they give you information, isn't it their job to do some investigating?
Should.
I'm saying you still got your job to do.
Should.
So it kind of goes like they saying that. Well, my informant said this is happening, so we're just gonna do that. We're gonna skip all the stuff in between.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that we're making. You still have a job to do, but you are going off the basis of an informant who can and will lie just to keep you off of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you destroy an innocent person's life based off of a lie.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. The power,
stolen innocence, right? Stolen innocence.
Yes, the power that police have is way too much. I mean, those unions, the police union, Daryl, you know, you had the experience with the union. I mean, you know the union's power because you've been a part of probably FOP. I mean, are they that powerful that the fact that they can write their own policies and almost their own laws, and they can just wipe clean a bad cop's wrong because they're the union is unbelievable.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk more and more about forming a citizen review board here in Tuscaloosa, because this is the future, guys, and Chicago has one. And like I said, we might as well go ahead and start examining the future of what's going on up north. Eventually going to start happening down south, and we just need to be more prepared, bring more attention to it, and be more educated about what we need to do to make the right choices.
Oh yeah. I mean, I hope when it does happen that the review board has real authority.
Yes.
That actually, you know, has impact. Because it's one thing to set up a committee like that, but have no power, no authority to make a change and to discipline. You know, it's, you know, nobody wants a fair weather committee. I hope that's not what these committees turn to be, even of the ones up north that they're trying to form to oversee the police's behavior. I hope it's not just, you know, a fly by the wayside, you know, sort of entity that has no real impact. I hope these committees have impact, real impact.
You're right.
It's crazy.
We'll talk about it more on Tuesday. Just to chime in a little early on the.
Absolutely. I apologize, everybody. Once again, happy birthday to the First Lady of the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to ask Miss Valerie a question, because I had something that came to me about COVID. Ms. Valerie, has anyone here in Tuscaloosa passed, you know, died that was vaccinated from, you know, they had the vaccination and they died from COVID here in Tuscaloosa? Do we have any?
Not to my knowledge.
That's what I thought.
I hadn't heard anybody, and that's what we're talking about on Tuesday. You know, we hadn't really been getting the deaths.
Yeah, and a lot of people are upset about that too. They're not being quite transparent about certain, you know, certain things and the way certain things are happening and how they're happening. And you know, sometimes people don't always report what's going on. And if they don't know, then medical professionals can't report it. But then again, there are some things I think people are questioning the things that they know. How much of that do they report?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know on the news today they said 93% of everybody who has the new Delta variant are people who are non-vaccinated people. So yeah, you might have a few people that's sneaking in, but they just getting positive results that they're not hospitalized. Right. Yeah, that's the part I'm aware of more so, that those that are vaccinated, when they do get the COVID or the Delta, they're not hospitalized. They just tell them to go isolate and and just be still for a while. But I just a friend of mine, he was saying that this is what he had heard, that someone had died because he had actually contracted the COVID, but he pulled through because he's a very healthy guy,
So he's still reluctant to receive the vaccine. Is he still not?
He's gonna get. He didn't have the vaccine. That's the thing. I was on him about it, but now he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So after his 90 days, he's
gonna get it after his 90 days.
So he probably was curious to know if those who have been vaccinated, how many of them have been admitted for serious illness. Now that I won't say that that's zero possibility, because it may be a possibility. They had a percentage of how many are being hospitalized with serious injury that haven't. They're saying most of them haven't, and they've been given numbers. But I still can't say, because it's medicine, that everybody that got vaccinated just quarantined if they got it. With this Delta variant, you don't know. There may be somebody who went to ICU, God forbid, and we just don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah, because he was asking me what he kind of said that's what he heard. And I said, well, I didn't hear that, especially here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I've heard people say that they've heard that happened. And then you get to the point where, like, okay, do you even believe them when they say that? Because so many people believe conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And so many people are believing things, they're believing, they're saying, well, I heard this, I heard that. And it coincides with them not wanting to take the vaccine.
That's what.
So I won't say that it hasn't happened, because I don't know. It's medicine. Anything is possible. But a lot of people that are saying that, they don't want to take the vaccine.
I wish he was listening to what you just said, because I basically said the same thing to him. I said people will say that because people that don't want to take the vaccine, they need riders with them. Mm-hmm. So they put a lot of negative info out there and they charge it up. Because they're saying it's not enough info, but some of them are putting out misinformation. Because they want more people to join them. They don't want to be in it by themselves. They find out everybody's getting the vaccine. Guess what? They're going to ease their behind over there. They're going to get it to you. I tell them, I say, I guarantee you, all the wealthy folks have it because they don't want to depart from their money. It's the ones. It's the ones up there riding them four-wheelers out there in the field hunting and all that. They feel like they standing up against something. But the ones that are rich and wealthy, I promise you, I told them, I said, they'll spend $1 million for 5 more years of life. That give them 5 more years to spend more of their money and enjoy it.
Well, it's like Darryl was saying earlier. I'm glad that more of the Republicans, those they may be the ones like with money, are speaking out. Like the Lindsey Graham, he contracted it. It's something an event Joe Manchin had. And he said that he feels like it's not as bad because he had the vaccination.
Had the vaccine, but look what it takes.
Why wasn't he standing up? Even if he wasn't for the vaccine, why wasn't he pushing safety more? A lot of them wasn't even pushing safety.
Look at them. Look at Florida's governor. That guy. Yeah, I ain't never seen anything like that dude right there, all the way around gone, man. Yeah, he gone. I think he is a footstep away from a Hitler. If he ever got in power, I think that's what he would be.
He'd be worse than Trump. I honestly believe he'd be worse than Trump. He'd be down there about cursing and talking about Joe Biden don't know blip. Go ahead and say what you want to say, because you cursed before. And about that situation, I was telling my girls earlier. What's his name? The black guy almost beat him for governor. If that guy hadn't got tangled up in that stuff that he got tangled up in, he would beat him this go around.
He would have beat him. He would beat him.
Mm-hmm.
He would beat him. I know. I thought he had him too. I really thought he had him.
Mm-hmm. He was that close. I mean, to beat him down there. And if it with all what's going on now, yeah, he's not gotten tied up. He would have been perfectly poised to beat him.
Perfect time. I don't think he's gonna last this next go round.
Well, right now he's already like 0.5% behind his biggest competitor right now. And at first he was 10 points ahead.
I don't see. I don't see him winning the next round. When he started talking like he was talking, I said, ain't no way he can win another term talking like that. Those people,
But you know what? That's why they set up. That's why they setting up elections. That's why they set it up to steal these elections.
Right. But you want to know something? Once again, they're gonna have record Democrat coming out,
turnout,
to those polls. Once again, all they doing is motivating Democrats to come out, because people. One thing, you know us. One thing we don't like to be defeated,
right? Or
mistreated. We don't like that. Once we get mistreated and try to be defeated, we push back, and we push back with vengeance. So let them keep on trying this with this voter oppression, suppression that they're doing. Let them keep on, and let them keep on saying they don't want to take this vaccine. God forbid me for saying this, but all you're doing is lessening your numbers of turning out to those polls, because it's gonna be your people gonna be unable to leave their home because they're gonna be COVID bound. If they ain't COVID bound, it's gonna take them out. So you keep on preaching that, it's just crazy. But I guess Darryl, station here, people start.
We'll talk Tuesday. And
yes, sir.
We'll get back on it. See you on Tuesday.
Right. Hey, Veronica, I'm gonna hit you up in your DM, and I'm gonna get you a cake.
Okay, all right, Mike. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys.
Got you down. He done one up you.
He got me at the last minute. All right.
One up you now. Mike over there said, "Pull up on me." It's on 2-time 411 report. That's real
Look at it. All right, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Good night. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Head on down to Archibald and Woodrow, some of the best barbecue in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, y'all. Right off of 4125 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35405. You can hit them up at 205-331-4858. Also, you can find them at their other location, 1211 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Northport, Alabama 35476. 205-345